So now it's time to put all of your blocks together with your sashing. So this is the sashing here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the rows together like that, horizontally, and once the 4 rows together, then we'll put them together vertically, so put these ones in then. So what we want to do is, as per instruction sheets, it tells you how many strips to cut, and cross cut into 12 1/4, because this width of these blocks are 12 1/4, so I've cut them at 12 1/4. If yours turn out different, cut them at that length. Then I've cut some wadding to go inside the sashing, and then this is the sasher, which is 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it through Pauline Rogers 2-inch sashing tool, because that's the width of the actual sashing there. So this is, I'll just show you how to do it. What I normally do is finger press it in half here, just to get the half. Then you bring the sides in to meet the middle. So you want to have it as even as you can, at least the start of it. Give it a bit of a press, then thread it up through your 2-inch sasher tool. Up and then back down. Then with your fork pin, which is a pin with two arms on it, they're quite handy. Put either side of your back seam there, stretching out your material. Just use your iron to push that 2-inch sasher tool along, and then give it a good press after you've done it. So go up to the next lot. So you'll probably be able to do around about 12 to 13 inches each time. And once you've got that all through, we can move on to the next. Sometimes it gets a little bit squished up, so just go back and iron that centre there. Give it a bit of a help along. So now I've put my 4-inch strip through my 2-inch sasher tool. So whatever size sasher tool you've got, it's double the amount, the width of fabric. So I've put that through, and I need to cut these back to 12 1/4. So I'm just doing 1 strip at the moment. So I'm just going to cut 2 12 1/4 inch strips to actually put this one together, put this line together. Okay, put that aside. And I've also got 2 12 1/4 inch by 2 1/2 inch strips for the back. So this is going to be your spacer strip at the back. So we've got those. What we'll do is we'll put the 2 strips. Now this wadding is, because this is a 2-inch sasher, the wadding's cut just under 2 inch, so 1 7/8. You put this inside your sashing. Give it a bit of a press to get it nice and flat, and make sure those seams are actually matching, or reaching each other, I should say, not matching. So that's 1. It just fits inside there nice and snug. Okay, doesn't matter there's that bit sitting out the end because we'll snip that off at the end after we've put it all together. So what we've got to do first is we have to put the spacer strip on the back of the fabric. So what you've got to do is put your back side of the fabric, you put the spacer strip onto the back, like that, pin it, and this is cut at 12 1/4 by 2 1/2. So this will fit your blocks if you've got them cut down to 12 1/4. If you've kept them at 12 1/2 or 12, you need to cut the spacer strip and your sashing strip at that particular size. So I'm going to sew this on with a 1/4 inch seam. So that's block 1. I've put it on the back of block 1 and I'm going to attach it to block 2. So once again, that spacer strip gets attached to the back of block 2. Pin it. Take it to the ironing board and iron it nice and flat. So you've got it stretched out and ironed nice and flat. Okay, now you've got to add this sasher over the top of this. So you want to line up. I'm going to cut that little strip of wadding off there so it doesn't confuse it. You're going to line up the top of that, and you can see the 12 1/4 fits, and we want to get the Roxanne glue, which is amazing, basic glue, and run a strip just on the inside of the line that you've just sewn, the seam there. Make sure you've got it evenly over the 12 1/4 over the whole width of it, and then iron it. That actually sets it. The iron sets that Roxanne glue, which is amazing. It's fantastic. Then run another line on this side, and then as you're pushing it down, just stretch it out. You want to just cover that seam line that you sewed the back spacer to your block with, if you understand what I mean. Iron it down. It's nice and hot iron. Right, so now that's ready to go. I'm going to sew that on with the monopoly thread so that it's hard to see, and it's just blends in well with everything else on the top of the quilt. Using the monopoly thread, you'll just stitch either side of that stuck down sasher. Stitch very close to the edge. Try and stitch as close as you can. I mean, it's not absolutely imperative that you have it even. Just missed a bit there. And then I'm going to trim this little bit off the edge here. And as you can see, it's nice and even straight through. It's a nice straight line. That's what you want to aim for, having a nice straight line like that.